All right. Okay. To be mindful of everyone's time, we will just get started right away. If anyone joins in late, feel free to pick up where we are. A copy of the presentation will be sent afterwards. So for all of you, no need to take notes, just sit back and enjoy. So thank you again so much for joining me today. My name is Chanelle. I am one of the registered nutritionists here at VitaminLab. So today's topic needs no introduction. I'm sure it's something many of us are very familiar with. Gut health is such a weighted topic, and while I could go on and on about every little thing that's affected by poor gut health, I'm going to take you through some of the main points today. So gut health can vary person to person, and each individual has a unique set of symptoms. Probiotics are great for overall health, but today it's something I'm going to skip over. It's just something that's well talked about and known to many of us. So I just hope that today inspires you to know that there are other ingredients out there and other supplements that can help support your gut. Again, each individual is so unique, so especially when it comes to gut health. So we do offer complimentary consultations at VitaminLab with our team of registered nutritionists for a more individualized approach to your health needs. So today I'm going to take you through what a healthy gut versus a not so healthy gut look like, how we know if our gut health needs addressing, and then of course the best supplements to support our digestive tract. There will be some time at the end for questions, but if anything comes up throughout the presentation, feel free to pop it in the question and answer box. I'll do my best to answer those as we go. And there's also an emoji button, so if you learn something new or something's exciting, feel free to give me a thumbs up or a smiley face and let me know. Just as a reminder, the statements made in today's presentation and the respective products are not intended to diagnose, treat, heal, or cure any disease or condition. It's always a good idea to talk to your healthcare professional and your doctor if you are taking any medications before starting new supplements. So again, a copy of the presentation and notes will be sent afterwards. So feel free to just sit back and enjoy today. So when we're dealing with gut issues or digestive health, we're not often thinking of the overall picture of what's going on with the rest of our body. We're just thinking about how intolerable those symptoms really are. So I'm sure this list of symptoms looks very familiar to many of you, and we've likely experienced one or maybe all of those at some point. I'm going to pop a question up. All the answers are anonymous, but I'm just curious how many of you have actually experienced one of these in the last week? I'll give everyone a moment to answer that. You can drag the box around the screen, so if it's blocking the content behind it, you can move that over. Great, so quite a lot of yeses so far. No surprise. All right, yes, lots of yeses. So in 2018, a study looked at over 71,000 participants between the ages of 18 and 80, and they asked them the same question. So over 60% of the participants said yes, that they had experienced one of these symptoms in the last week. So it's really interesting to see just in our small sample size today, and that 71,000 people, quite similar results. Digestive diseases actually account for over 100 million outpatient medical care visits per year in the United States. So it's definitely an issue. So now I want you to look at the same question with a different set of symptoms. Again, I'm going to pop a question box up for you. I'm just curious how many of you have experienced at least one of these in the last week. There we go. And again, you can drag that box over if it's blocking the content behind it. All right, so a lot more yeses for this one. Again, no surprise there. It just goes to show that gut health can affect so much more than just our digestive system. It affects obviously almost everything in the body. The gut-brain connection is so strong, it's no surprise to see brain fog, mood disorders, and migraines up there as well. So the digestive system can be up to 10 meters long. It's comprised of digestive organs and tubes or intestines that pass food from the mouth to the anus. So this is where the nutrients from food and supplements are broken down, extracted, filtered, and absorbed. And then waste and other toxins are eliminated from the body. So there's a large reservoir of bacteria that live within the digestive system. This plays a really important role in healthy digestion. So the type of bacteria that live in your body depends on where you live in the world, what medications you've been exposed to, and health conditions you may have. But what does a happy, healthy gut look like? So the digestive tract is lined with mucosal tissue, and that when it's functioning optimally, the junctions are tightly bound together and can control what can leave and what can enter the bloodstream. So when our stomach acid and our gut bacteria is at an optimal level, we're able to break down and digest foods, absorb the nutrients, and eliminate our waste properly. So the more damage we do to the digestive tract with medication use, poor food choices, I'll go into that in a minute, the weaker the gut lining in the intestinal wall. So leaky gut, maybe that's something familiar to you, is a condition where the integrity of the intestinal wall has been compromised. And as a result, an immune system is triggered. So when the typically tight junctions of the gut wall become loosened or leaky, endotoxins that would normally be processed and eliminated are able to escape and be reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. So I want you to think of your gut barrier like a screen door. The mesh of the screen door is large enough to allow airflow to flow freely inside, but it's small enough to prevent bugs and other critters from entering into your house. So now what happens when a few of the small mesh wires break? The hole becomes larger, and all those bugs and critters that the door was designed to keep out are able to come into your house. So your gut works very much the same way. When we have leaky gut, those toxins are able to be reabsorbed back into the bloodstream, and it triggers our immune system. So we're left with allergies, inflammation, and then all of those unpleasant symptoms like gas, diarrhea, bloating, and constipation. So besides all of those symptoms, why do we care so much about the integrity of our gut? I mean, I definitely don't want to experience those symptoms, and I'm sure you don't either. But when we neglect this vital system, we leave it vulnerable to pathogens, infection, inflammation, and often leaky gut. So our gut plays a very pivotal role in determining the state of our immune health, our metabolism, our skin health, and our overall well-being. So maintaining a healthy gut is very important for overall health. So when our gut is working optimally and our digestion is not impaired, our ability to absorb nutrients is increased. Our bodies are better able to utilize the nutrients from food and supplements and direct them to the areas where the body actually needs it. Our immune system is much better when we have a healthy gut. So between 70 and 80% of our immune cells are found in our gut. So this is definitely an area that we'd want to support. And then 95% of our serotonin is manufactured by our gut bacteria. So again, the gut-brain connection is no doubt incredibly strong. So when our gut is in a poor state, our mood and our energy levels do suffer. So low serotonin also comes with sleep disturbances. So serotonin is the precursor to melatonin. This is derived from the amino acid tryptophan. So our body actually converts serotonin into melatonin when our eyes are exposed to darkness in a normal circadian rhythm. So melatonin is what helps us feel tired and sleepy. So with poor serotonin production, this too is inhibited. When our digestive system is working well, we're able to eliminate waste and toxins. This is especially important in women. Our ability to eliminate excess estrogen can help keep our hormone levels balanced. And then finally, our skin. So our skin holds, the gut holds such a strong immunoregularity role that it's really influential on other organs in the body. With the skin being the body's largest organ, it shows up there. So when there are imbalances in the gut, it releases pro-inflammatory markers called cytokines. So our skin reacts to these cytokines in numerous ways, and it will present maybe as acne, eczema, rosacea. So supporting the gut will definitely help reduce this reaction. So I touched on it a little bit earlier, but how are we harming our gut health? So there are things that we're doing almost every day, maybe without even knowing, that are affecting our gut. So, generally, eating a wide range of foods consisting of whole foods, so fruits, vegetables, whole grains, can leave you with a diverse gut flora. So, this can help ward off infection and bacteria and help with the recovery from harmful substances like antibiotics. So, unfortunately, today, the typical North American has a much less diverse gut flora than years ago. So, according to the United Nations, 75% of the world's food supply comes from only 5 animal sources and 12 different plants. So, our gut just does not have the variety of nutrients to keep it strong. Just as a fun little question, you can pop it in the question and answer box, but I want you to guess what the number one eaten vegetable in the United States is. So I'll give you a moment just in the question and answer box. You can pop what you think the number one eaten plant food or vegetable is in the United States. So, as a hint, they say it's on average 50 pounds of this vegetable per person per year is eaten in the United States. All right. Well, potatoes is the number one eaten vegetable. And interestingly, 40% of that is actually French fries. Number two is 30 pounds per person per year. That's tomatoes. And 60% of that comes from pizza sauce. So we do have a long way to go. On top of that, the Western world has a lot more packaged foods containing chemicals and preservatives with little nutritional value. So, refined foods, especially refined carbohydrates and sugars, can promote the growth of bad bacteria, which further deteriorate your gut lining. Sugar is in almost everything we eat, so it is something to be conscious of. Stress. So, stress affects almost everything in your body, most certainly your digestive health. So, when the stress response is activated, energy is moved away from the digestive system. That leaves us with low stomach acid and diminished gut bacteria, which can definitely impact our digestion. So, medications like antibiotics and birth control pills deplete the gut of its good bacteria. So, studies actually found that over 270 million antibiotic prescriptions are filled each year, and a good amount of these are actually misprescribed. So antibiotics work by clearing the gut of all of its bacteria and not just the bad stuff that we want to address. And then too much alcohol. So too much alcohol can irritate the stomach lining and relax the lower esophageal sphincter. So the esophageal sphincter is a group of muscles at the bottom of the esophagus and the top of the stomach, and it works by preventing your stomach acid from flowing back into the esophagus, which can sometimes lead to those symptoms of heartburn. Alcohol is also very dehydrating, which can contribute to things like constipation. So, getting enough water each day is very important for our digestive system. So, now that we know what we're doing wrong, what are things that we can do to improve it? So, one, we want to aim for at least 30 plant foods a week. So, researchers at the American Gut Project found that those who had 30 plants per week had a more diverse gut flora than those who had only 10. No surprise there. So, eating a variety of plant foods can also help produce short chain fatty acids, which can help protect against colon cancer. So, 30 may seem like a lot, but we actually have over 30,000 plant foods fit for consumption. So, adding spices or fresh herbs to your meals can be a really quick way to increase that number. We also want to limit sugar and refined foods and incorporate more whole foods. So these whole foods actually contain the enzymes that your body naturally needs to break them down and absorb them properly. We also want to reduce our stress, limit alcohol, and our prescription drug use. This can always help improve our gut health and our microflora. And then, of course, there's a wide range of supplements to help support the integrity of the gut and the mucosal lining, increase your gut bacteria, and then help reduce all those unwanted symptoms. So before I get into the supplements, I want to talk about why getting to the root of the issue is so important. So we often see individuals supplementing or trying to reduce their symptoms of a poor gut, but they're never really getting down to the root cause. So this means you're going to continue to face these problems and you're just sticking a band-aid over the issue. So for example, those that have trouble sleeping and are supplementing with melatonin, they may not be looking at the bigger picture. why is melatonin low? Is serotonin production low because our gut health is impaired? So it's always a good idea to get down to the root cause. So I'm going to take you through today some supplements that focus on improving the integrity of the gut and creating an environment that is suitable for nutrient breakdown and absorption. So our first one today is licorice root. So licorice root is cultivated from the licorice plant. This is native to Western Asia and Southern Europe. It's one of the oldest known herbal remedies, going as far back as ancient Egypt. So it's been used for circulatory, respiratory, and digestive illnesses. So when this is taken as a tea or as a supplement, licorice helps increase mucus production in the stomach and it soothes the intestinal tract. So this can be really soothing to those with ulcers, may even help protect against ulcer formation. So licorice works by slightly reducing the production of gastric acid, which of course leads to the formation of ulcers. Though we need gastric acid to break down foods, there are instances where gastric acid may be too high. So certain infections, surgeries, or health conditions. And actually many medications run the risk of ulcers. So as long as there's no interactions with your medication, this may be a good ingredient to include. Again, our team of registered nutritionists are always happy to help review your formula and your medications to determine if the ingredients are the right fit for you. And so, as mentioned before, licorice root has been used for years and years for the circulatory system. So supplementing with this can help increase blood flow to the stomach to encourage repair of injury or damage in the intestinal tract. Licorice root also has anti-inflammatory properties and can help in reducing inflammation in gut and bowel diseases like IBS and Crohn's. So studies show that a dose of 150 to 200 milligrams daily may be beneficial in reducing the severity and the onset of stomach ulcers. One thing to note, it should not be used long-term, so maybe 3 to 6 months, depending on your symptoms and the severity of the symptoms. Another thing to note with licorice root is that it can lower your potassium levels. So if you're taking medications like warfarin or diuretics or high blood pressure medication, this may be an ingredient that you want to avoid. I will go through many more ingredients, so if this one doesn't work for you, just stay tuned because I'm sure we will find one that does. So L-glutamine. So L-glutamine is the most abundant amino acid in the body, and it's involved in the most metabolic processes. So when the body does not have a source of glucose, it actually converts glutamine into glucose. It serves as a source of fuel for the lining of the gut wall and the intestines, and without glutamine, these cells can waste away. So by supporting the integrity of those cells, L-glutamine can help increase nutrient absorption and prevent bacteria from re-entering the small intestine or the bowel wall. You may have also heard that L-glutamine is good for immune support. That's also true. Again, over 70% of our immune cells lie within our gut, so promoting good gut integrity and works by supporting our immune system as well. And then in metabolically stressed individuals, so those with colitis, Crohn's, IBS, or even extreme athletes, L-glutamine levels were found to be chronically low. So supplementing with this to support the inflammation from these illnesses can be really beneficial. So doses of L-glutamine range quite a bit, so from 500 milligrams to 20 grams a day. It's recommended to start a bit slower with this, so somewhere between 500 and 1,000 milligrams daily of L-glutamine. And again, I will send everyone a copy of the presentation with the notes, so don't worry about making notes for the doses. And then we have collagen. So collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body. 1/3 of all protein in the body is actually collagen. So it's found in our bones, muscles, skin, tendons. While our bodies naturally produce collagen, as we age, our ability to do so declines. Collagen does contain all the amino acids, especially glycine and L-glutamine, which are really important for the digestive tract. Collagen plays a role in the natural process of wound healing as well. So topical collagen is sometimes used to control bleeding, restore skin elasticity, and encourage new tissue growth. So these are the same benefits when taken internally, like as a supplement. So pure collagen cannot actually be absorbed through the intestinal tract. So it's broken down into what's called collagen peptides or hydrolyzed collagen. A 2019 study determined that collagen peptides do have the ability to maintain, reinforce, and repair intestinal mucosa and improve the gut's tight junctions. So again, that screen door, keeping those mesh wires nice and tight to control what can and cannot enter. So collagen, again, a wide range of doses, somewhere between 500 milligrams and 20 grams of collagen a day. Doses of this really depend on the amount of support that your body needs, but we recommend somewhere between 500 and 2,500 milligrams can be beneficial. And then we have our zinc carnosine. So zinc is something we're all really familiar with. It's in many multivitamins. It's a staple for a lot of us. But zinc carnosine in particular has very specific benefits when it comes to gut health. So zinc deficiency, very uncommon in the United States, but it is a leading risk factor for gastrointestinal disease. Zinc has no special storage system in the body, so supplementing regularly to maintain adequate levels is important. So on a molecular level, zinc carnosine is a combination of zinc and carnosine in a 1-to-1 ratio. So this unique combination has been shown to be 3 times more effective when it comes to the ability to improve the integrity of the intestinal wall than either one of these ingredients alone. So a big advantage of zinc carnosine is that it allows for slow absorption along the digestive tract. So this is important because we want it to actually reach the area where the repair is needed. So zinc carnosine helps to improve the health of the epithelium cells. So these are cells that line the stomach and that tight junction structure. This helps reduce inflammation. So for example, after regular NSAIDs use, which can injure the small intestine, this can be really beneficial to support that. So zinc carnosine also helps with DNA repair and wound healing, especially in our gut. Zinc carnosine can actually help reduce exercise-induced gut damage. So a lot of high intensity, high stress, high trained individuals like extreme athletes do report a lot of GI issues like cramps, diarrhea, nausea. This can be due to a couple different things. So either increased body temperature, reduced blood flow to the stomach, or maybe the overuse of NSAIDs. So when this is taken with bovine colostrum, which contains natural growth factors, it can actually help moderate any of those exercise-related effects. Zinc, of course, has antiseptic, antiviral, and antibacterial properties that can help combat bacteria like H. pylori. So low stomach acid increases the risk of H. pylori. So zinc carnosine helps to increase the stomach acid to ensure that it is an environment not suitable for its growth. For zinc carnosine, a 75 milligram dose is equivalent to about 15 to 17 milligrams of elemental zinc. So that's the dose that we recommend for your gut support. And then the last one I'm going to go over today is betaine. So betaine is a naturally occurring compound extracted from food sources like grains and beets. And betaine hydrochloride is an acidic version of betaine that works in the same way that hydrochloric acid does in your stomach. So low stomach acid can occur as a result of many different things like surgeries, H. pylori infections, the use of antacids, proton pump inhibitors, age, or autoimmune disease. So interestingly, 50% of autoimmune patients launch autoimmune attacks against the cells in the stomach. This leads to inflammation in the cells that are specifically responsible for our acid production. So those with rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes, Crohn's, or autoimmune thyroid disease, these individuals that are much higher risk of low stomach acid. So low stomach acid can also increase the risk for SIBO. So this stands for small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. As we know, bad bacteria love environments that are low in acid. So supplementing with betaine hydrochloride can help increase that stomach acid, playing an important role in killing bacteria before it reaches the small intestine. So many people with low stomach acid actually experience symptoms like burping, bloating, acid reflux, or heartburn. And these symptoms are often treated with antacids. Unfortunately, this is doing the opposite of what our body needs and further reducing that stomach acid. So this is why it's so important to get to the root cause of the issue. It's not to say that these symptoms aren't sometimes associated with high stomach acid, but it's just important to know that you're treating your body the way that it needs. So for betaine hydrochloride, we're looking at a dose of 350 to 600 milligrams daily with food. I always recommend starting with less to see how your body tolerates, and then you can work up if needed. All right. So there we have our list, our 5 ingredients that we went through today. As always, I'd love to know which ingredient you feel you learned the most about, or that you're most excited to hear more about. So I'll pop up another poll here, and then I'll give you a moment to answer that one. There's not an all of the above, but so we don't want to go ahead and add all of these ingredients to a formula to support our gut health. It's really important to add the ingredients that best support your goals and your problem areas. Again, some ingredients have the potential to interact with medications. So it's always important to review that with your doctor or our team here at VitaminLab. Again, so though I left probiotics out of our presentation, it's not to say they're not important. They are very important. I just wanted to show you that there are some other ingredients out there that can really support the integrity of our gut. Probiotics work by replenishing the gut's good bacteria, but it's really important to maintain the strength and health of the gut itself so we can manufacture our own gut bacteria. All right, so lots of interest. Yeah, licorice fruit was a big one. And then just one more question. So why are you wanting to support your health? Like, what are your main health goals, main goals for supporting your gut health? So I'll pop that one up there. I know for me, I'm always all of the above. I want better sleep, better mood, good skin. So lots of reasons to support our gut. So how do we know that the supplements and the lifestyle changes are actually working? So these are a couple of key signs that we want to look for. One being our bowel movements are regular, so not too frequent, not too infrequent, and that we have a normal amount of gas and bloating. So I mean, if you're eating a meal high in beans, this reaction may be normal. We also want to see less brain fog, less fatigue, our energy levels, mental clarity are higher. Again, you are your own best judge. So it's ideal to maybe make a list of the symptoms you're experiencing before you start intervening with lifestyle or supplements. And then check back in with yourself in 3 to 6 months to see how your interventions are working. And then we can always kind of tweak from there. So again, our team of nutritionists at VitaminLab, always happy to help you work through this, adjust and modify your formula as needed. Your health goals change, so should your vitamins. A link to our booking site will be posted after this webinar and sent via email. So if you do want to chat to our team, feel free to book a free call there. And then just as a thank you again for joining our presentation, wanted to offer you an exclusive booster only available for those of you who attended our webinar. So this is a gut support booster, contains L-glutamine, zinc carnosine, and marshmallow root. So marshmallow root is not an ingredient I talked about today, but it helps with the mucus production in the intestinal tract. So it's a really soothing herb. So this is normally a $15 value. We want to offer this to you at $10. So if this is something you want to take advantage of and add into your formula or create a new formula using these ingredients, feel free to book a call with us or send us an email and we can help you out with that. We do have a couple minutes for questions. So if there's any questions at all, feel free to pop them in the question and answer box. So somebody just asked about the ingredients, if they all come together in one bottle. So how it works with all of our formulas are they're compounded supplements. So all of the ingredients are added together along with whatever else may be in your formula, mixed together and then encapsulated. So the number of capsules will really depend on the number of ingredients you have in your formula, as well as the density and dosages of those ingredients. And then another question here. So if I'm taking regular zinc, should I also take zinc carnosine or just one of them? So you will still get all your regular benefits from zinc in the form of zinc carnosine, but the real benefit of this form is actually where it's absorbed along the digestive tract. So it's absorbed more in the stomach rather than in the small intestine. So when it's bonded to zinc carnosine, the absorption is slower, allowing a more localized concentration in the stomach. And then another question, do you offer different formulas already made for different conditions? No, we do not. So we really focus on personalization. Each individual is so different. Um, the same formula that works for me may not work for you. So again, our team of nutritionists are always happy to work with you, learn a little bit more about you, your health history, things like that, to create a formula that really is specific for you. Okay, I have time for one more question. So if I take my vitamins with food, can it help to not hurt my stomach? So yes, we definitely encourage taking your vitamins with food. Meals, especially high in healthy fats or complex carbohydrates, are really good for the absorption and digestion of supplements. This can lead to a less harsh reaction on our digestive tract. But also there are some fat soluble vitamins like our vitamins A, D, and K that need a source of fat to actually be absorbed properly. And so definitely recommend taking your vitamins with food. So if there's any other questions that come up, sorry I don't have time to address all of them today, but feel free to send us an email, book a call with us after this presentation, and we'll be happy to talk more about this. Thank you again so much for joining me today. Hope you all learned something and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks.